Hello and welcome everyone. I am Dr. Homera and I am the founder of Lumen. Thank you for being here. While we are joining, I am admitting people in the lobby. So let's introduce ourselves. Why don't you just go ahead and type in the chat where you are joining from and what brings you here. And meanwhile, I'll add people into the room. Awesome. I see people typing. So while you are joining and while you are introducing yourself, let me give you a quick background to who we are, what we do, what we are doing here today. So Lumen is my flagship program at Digital Munich, where we help people build their careers in data, AI, and machine learning. And we created this program because the market, as you can imagine, is changing. We can imagine that the competition has become immensely tough these days. I was talking to a few hiring managers, I was talking to a few recruiters and following some research, and it was becoming so obvious that the competition is immense now. For a single role out there, there are over 250 applications. And even for the junior roles, it's even more than that, like 400 plus. This is intense. This is too much, which also tells us that only skills are not going to get us hired. We need something different. We need to have a strategy that how do we position ourselves. We need to have a strategy on how we make ourselves visible. And that's why this program is here. We created a job search accelerator that helps people position themselves in this changing times. And I have Nadia with me today who took this accelerator with me. And I am super proud on how she has developed herself as a business owner, as an entrepreneur after this program. And the success story that she has to share, I believe is going to be not only motivational for all of us, but also going to be inspiring in action that what we can do, what you can do to make that change, to make that pivot right now. I'll take a few more seconds to admit the rest of the people who are in the lobby, and then I'll hand it over to Nadia to take us further. So just bear with me. Meanwhile, I'm also looking at the chat. I have people joining from Stuttgart. Welcome, Samida. I have Leila's meeting notes taker. I have Hamza, also from Germany in Rostock. Just finished master's in computer science. Welcome, Hamza. I am again admitting more people. So I have, hi Faisal, good evening. We have quite a number of people who have already joined. And let me give you all one more minute. While the others are joining, I want to point you to the pinned comment on the chat. We have I have also this resource pinned in the Q&A section. Maybe this is a good time that you can locate that. So this job search accelerator that I just briefly introduced, for the participants today here, we are also offering a 10% discount. So if you want to check it out, the meeting link, not the meeting link, the event link, the program link, and the discount code is in the Q&A pinned section as a pinned post, and I will also post it here in the chat. But let's not talk about it right now. What I want to do is to loop you in, Nadia. Welcome and thank you for being here. And I want you to just quickly introduce yourself in a line, and then I'll start shooting you with a lot of questions.
Hi, Omera, and hi all. I'm really happy to be here. I'm Nadia Mohammed, and I'm a technical SEO and geo consultant with a background in software engineering. And yeah, happy to answer all the questions that you have for me, Umera.
Awesome. Thank you. And again, welcome for being here. So, without further ado, just tell us you came to this accelerator, job search accelerator last year. You were searching for a job at that time. Tell us about everything that was happening before you joined the accelerator. What were you doing? What were the roles you were looking for? How was it going? What have you tried? What wasn't working? So, everything before joining the accelerator.
Well, I was just laid off from my previous role,
Mhm.
and yeah, I was applying without an actual plan or a clear idea of the next role. I was just applying for senior software engineering role, but just for those job posts that actually resonate with my experience. But I felt quite lost because nothing seems like the correct next move for me at the time.
Mm-hmm. So, and I can imagine like being in a position where you know you will have to get a new job soon, and not knowing what to apply for. I think many of us can relate with us that we then try to apply to as many positions as possible and without a proper strategy. So I am just wondering what made you decide that, okay, I need a mentor, I need to join a program so that I can be helped in my job search? What was going in your mind? What was the tipping point there?
Well, I was lucky enough to see one of your posts exactly at the right time. And it made me realize that a strategy would have given me exactly what I needed at the time, because more than being afraid of actually finding a new role, for me was that feeling of being lost and being unsure that applying for another senior engineering role was exactly what I needed at the time. I also had just had a baby, so probably the idea of another full-time role didn't feel like the right move. So when I saw the post on your program, it felt like the kind of tool that could give me the answer I was looking for. I needed direction, and I saw the post probably at the perfect time.
I'm glad to hear that. And one thing which you mentioned very important is that you needed direction. And again, when we are in a position where we are ourselves in a survival and searching mode, and without working with a direction, make things even more difficult. And I remember that right after our first session or first couple of sessions, you told me that you applied the guidelines that we shared and you got a job offer the same day you updated your profile. Tell us about
Yeah.
that day. What was happening there?
Yeah, that was quite crazy. So yeah, I follow all the instruction that you gave me, and actually get that request was like an assurance that I was doing the right thing, in the sense that I was communicating what I wanted to communicate, because the job offer was actually completely in line with what we discussed during the call, and it was a great motivator for keep going, for keep building up on what we define. And that call was very eye-opening because I wanted to go solo for completely going solo, because I did a bit of freelancing before, but that would have meant like completely leaving behind the idea of a full-time role and actually starting my own business. And after our conversation, I was completely clear on the path that it would have gave me exactly what I need in terms of work-life balance. So it gave me all the clarity that I need on the kind of role, the services that I had to offer based on my skill, and also reinforcing me the idea that my seniority was enough, because it's so, especially if you are not employed. I mean, the self-doubt is is there, and you actually reminded me that I had the experience, I had the skills, and that I was ready to do the jump and start my own business.
So you would encourage our audience to try out their own things and not just restrict themselves to job search?
Yeah, I will definitely encourage them to do so. I think that thanks to the fact that you can work remotely right now, there are opportunities now that there weren't in the past. You can actually reach clients from all over the world. So I think that is the perfect time. And with the introduction of AI as well, there are several things that probably a few years back, becoming a freelancer or an entrepreneur, being just like you, a solopreneur, would have been very, very difficult. But now with AI and automation, I mean, there are a lot of things that you can actually automate and speed up to actually support your business while you're actually providing a service to the client. So I think that is the perfect time to actually do something like that.
That's very good. And okay, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Nadia, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A section. So it's, yeah, feel free to just drop them. And after a few questions from my side, I'll start pulling in your questions as well. But continuing with the point with you, what you just mentioned, Nadia, I remember the conversation that we were having earlier. You said there are like three kind of people, one who are more into entrepreneurship, and then there are other two as well. Can you just remind our audience what those three people are? And do you think the way the job search is concerned, is it different for these three types of people, or is it the same?
Well, actually, I will restrict that further. I think there are just two kind of people. I think that there are people probably like myself that actually thrive into working by themselves, by being a freelancer, because I love the freedom. I love being able to set my own schedule. So all the cons that might come with it are actually worth it. But I know a lot of people that actually prefer to work for a company because of the, I mean, it's safer in a way. You have your own task, you work with a team. I mean, there is a lot of pros and cons, I think, in both option. And I think that is more, I mean, there is no option that is better than the other one. It depends how you are and in which of the two option you actually thrive and are more content. So I think that it's a matter of finding out which of the two is what makes you happier and more productive at the same time. Because we were, I think we had a discussion before on the fact that working by yourself doesn't mean working less.
That's
You actually
true.
have, yeah, there are a lot of things that you have to think of, and I mean, at least at the beginning, potentially it's just you. So, but I mean, I guess that the motivation that you are doing it for, building something for yourself, is very high as well. So we balance that up.
Hmm. And what are your thoughts on the process? Like, I have my experience says that job search and establishing yourself as an independent freelancer or business owner has a lot of commonalities when it comes to building your brand, having the visibility. How do you see this?
No, you are exactly right on that. I definitely agree, because it's, even if you're looking for a job, it's all personal branding
Yeah.
now. So having your LinkedIn set up in a certain way, your portfolio have to convey a certain message and showcase your skill as best as possible. So I think that especially in the first part for a freelancer, so the part in which you are setting all the digitals up, it really aligns with what needs to be done when you're looking for a new job. So the website for most of the tech roles, LinkedIn, and the curriculum, the CV.
And how much importance, so you mentioned that having your own website, be it a job seeker or be it a freelancer, is like a must-have for the people?
I mean, I worked as a software engineer before, and then as a technical SEO and geo consultant. I mean, it is and it was a must, and I guess that for most of the tech role, it's a great way of showcasing the work that you have already done, the results that you gain, the skills that you have. For most of the role, I will consider it a must-have. Yeah.
Mhm. Now, I think for our audience, this is a good point or good stage to think about it. That how many of you do you have a personal website? Do you have a portfolio that you can just share with everyone else, or not? So actually, I would love to see how people in the audience actually see themselves as far as the visibility is concerned. Do you have a portfolio or do you not have a portfolio? Let me know in the chat. I'd love to see. And while people are answering, Nadia, I want to shift gears a little bit towards something else that you mentioned, that in this age of AI, things are changing. It has become easier for people to establish their own businesses. But many people are also afraid of AI as well. So before we go into opportunities and threats, how are you seeing how AI is influencing the market?
It is influencing the market, because I mean, I can see that for a lot of job posts is actually something that if it's in the tech field, it's somehow required. But it's something that I wouldn't personally fear. I've been working with AI for the last, I mean, over a year. Now, what I keep realizing is that without the know-how, it's not really useful. So what actually makes it powerful is the fact that you know how to do your job, and that is actually providing a further, I mean, it gives you the possibility to work quicker, smarter, to create like a strategy, a framework, but the know-how comes from the person that actually use it. So I don't think that is to be feared, it's just to be learn, because it gives you a major advantage compared to someone else that is looking for the same job or is chasing the same client that doesn't know how to use it as well as you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's about learning. And I'm looking at one of the questions which South posted, that what about the certifications? Would you suggest that people should go for LLM specific certifications from all those big names? Or is it more about you need to know what your work domain is and how you can use AI to make it more efficient? What would be your line of thought?
Well, actually, I can answer in practice, in the sense that I'm about to get a master's degree in data science. I mean, of course, getting a master is great and all on your CV, but what actually gave me what I'm using in my day by day, what I'm using with the clients, is not the degree itself, but other courses that are maybe smaller, maybe they do not have the name, but they have the practical side of things, so not just the theory. So I wouldn't go for the big name, or I mean, I'm gonna say something that might sound a bit controversial, but also if I could go back in time, maybe also the degree itself, because what we need right now are the practical skills. Those are the ones that pay out the most.
I totally agree. People ask me this question a lot that should I go for a degree? Should I go for a course? Should I do another course? Yes, degree is important. Yes, course is important. But where the market is going, the proof of you being able to do the work, that's the most important. And you being able to show that you have done this again through a portfolio, that is a key differentiator. If you think
Absolutely.
doing a degree will help you be there, do it. If you think doing a project, and I believe doing projects bring you there closer, uh, don't go that path.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah. So if I combine what you just said, we should be not afraid of AI. We should see this as an opportunity and learn the new skills, not feel threatened by it.
Yeah, absolutely. What we did during our call was actually basically laying down all my skills at the time, but we actually tried to frame them in a way that were also in line with the times. So we actually integrated the geo side of things to my SEO background and skills. So it's about yeah adding an extra layer of knowledge on top of what you know that actually makes whichever service you provide even more powerful and helps you to differentiate yourself from all the other people that maybe didn't have um, the chance to actually do that upgrade.
Mhm. You just spoke about our first call. Can you walk us through those whole 2 week program when the accelerator program that you did, and how is it structured?
Well, it was divided into weeks, and we had four sessions. And in each session, we were actually defining the strategy better and better. And then between one session and the other one, I was actually applying everything we discussed. And actually starting working on it was raising a new question from my side that we had the possibility to discuss to the in the following session. So it was a sort of like constant iteration that brought me to define exactly what I wanted to do in terms of actually becoming a freelancer, the service that I wanted to offer based on my set of skills, but also based on what the market was looking for, and then the ICP. So actually defining the user, I mean the target client, and having that very clear in mind was pivotal to actually start building out the strategy. So then also the fact that we work on very practical things like improving the CV, improving the LinkedIn profile, the website, the portfolio with the case study of what I mean, all the experience that I actually had and all the value that I provide to previous company. It allows me to have clear in mind what I wanted, and then having a clear action plan on what to do to achieve it.
Hmm. And I'm really amazed at how that first session gives us the clarity on where we want to go, because that first discovery session that we had together, I remember we went through a lot of your background details, your ambitions, the SWOT analysis that we did over there, and uh, it was fascinating to see how out of chaos came out a structure and the strategy, and that helped us in building your portfolio, your LinkedIn, and everything. And I absolutely love how you actually thought not only from content perspective but also from a design perspective. Your portfolio from on the website is totally aligned with what we see on your LinkedIn, and in the emails that you share, and everything is, it looks like a single blend and everything is in one direction.
Well, that was made possible by the fact that I knew the kind of target, I knew the service. So having that clarity that I mean, the first session, as you said, was like eye-opening for me, because I had a different set of skills. I mean, I was a software engineering that had also a background in marketing. I worked intensively with technical SEO and geo analytics. There were a lot of things that I could actually put together to providing my services, and it could have been like going very broad. And the fact that we define in detail exactly what I needed to offer to the client. I mean, the fact that we had a very well-defined strategy allowed me then to create a brand that was cohesive because I had that clear goal in mind.
So, for the benefit of our audience, can you tell us that after that first session where we built that strategy, where we got that clarity, what were the concrete things that you worked on in the remaining 3 sessions?
We did completely my LinkedIn profile. So I changed the picture, the background image, the title, the bio. So everything was completely redone based on what we define. And that's something that I didn't do while I was looking for a job. What I did was just updating with the latest experience, but we basically redefined the whole thing. On top of that, I redid the CV and the website, and the content was going towards the same direction. So the goal that we defined together. So we established that it had to be consistent, not just in terms of content, but also in terms of design. I mean, what I learned from the accelerator was also the fact that building a personal brand meant that all my digitals needed to align.
Hmm. Yeah, you're totally right, because they have to align, because then from whichever perspective the hiring manager or the client is coming in, they are getting the same message, the same picture. And I am looking at one of the questions. So would you recommend going for LinkedIn Premium? Does that make any difference in your opinion, or a good balanced portfolio, a balanced LinkedIn is enough?
Couldn't do it straight away just because it's an extra expense, not because it's not worth it. So I will probably lay down, I mean, all the basics first. And that's, I mean, having the budget is definitely a good addition. If LinkedIn is your channel, is the channel that you have chosen because it's aligned with your ICP, with the target that you have for your business, or if you are looking for a job, it definitely helps. I will do all the pre-work first, and when everything is it's ready, then yeah, it's definitely a worthy addition.
I agree with what you are saying. Uh, let's start with fixing the basics first, and then look into how much more extra costs or investments we want to make. And this is basically what we help in the Job Search Accelerator. We help people build the foundation of the job search or their career progression. And this is, I think, one of the most important things here is that it's an accelerator, it's fast. So it's 2 weeks long. So you don't feel like you are in a 6 month long or a year long project. Rather, in 2 weeks, you see results. And as Nadia, you just said, We have 4 sessions here. We start with a discovery session where everyone gets a clarity on where they want to be. So for you, Nadia, it was, I remember a very huge light bulb moment, aha moment that, okay, I really don't want to go into job search and employment anymore. I want to switch to entrepreneurship. I have had students who got this clarity on that the titles that they were searching for, they were actually not correct, and they aspire to be in a field which has different kind of job titles out there. So having that clarity in the first session is what we really focus on, and then the next 3 sessions are on getting those fundamentals right. Your LinkedIn should reflect where you want to be. Your from cover picture to your profile picture to your about section to what projects have you done that showcases your examples, and then can't depend only on one platform. You need to have your own portfolio, which is independent of the social media. Then, how you build your networking strategy, how do you connect with the right people, how do you post without burning yourself out. I want to share you to share your thoughts on this one as well, Nadia, that for many people, posting on a daily basis is not very convenient. They don't realize what to post. Is it important to post every day, or is it not important to post every day? How can we maintain and build our brand in a way which is sustainable without burning us out? I'll give you a chance to speak in a minute, but just to um, wind this up, that this accelerator helps you create the foundation without going into, do I need premium? I think before going into premium, there are so many things which need to fix. Having the clarity, having your LinkedIn, having your portfolio, and having your CV, which can be easily updated for the job posts that you apply. And this is all that we do in 4 sessions within 2 weeks. And now your thoughts on how we can build our presence online. What are you doing to build your presence online and establishing yourself as the authority without burning yourself?
Well, I have a dedicated time slot every day when possible. I mean, it depends, of course, on the week, but I tend to work on the LinkedIn post on this dedicated time. And what helps me is sharing topics that are informative, because they're informative for the people I'm sharing them with, but they're also a constant refresher also for me on the topic I'm working on, maybe a study that I read that I want to share, a news. So actually coming up with the content is easier if you're sharing something that it has been interesting for you initially, and you want to share with the people that are following you. And it's also
Yeah.
an excuse to be up to date in your field in a way, because you actually read more, you try to gain more and more information, also to be able to share them.
So work on where your heart lies.
Sorry?
So work on where your heart lies.
Yeah, exactly. That makes everything easier. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm also seeing a question from Samida who says that in the age of AI, where tools can tailor your CV and write job application materials, what would you suggest? Like, AI may help you pass the ATS stage, but does it really help during the interview stage? Or should we continue with self-tailored CVs?
I mean, I will leverage AI, because I mean the truth is that it makes you faster, but you just have to be using in the right way. The risk with AI is always that it might hallucinate. So I guess that there is a step in which AI actually gives you the foundation, but then there is like always a human input or review. And in terms of the interviews themselves, I guess it can be leveraged there as well, because it will be a useful partner to actually test potential interview question out. So I always see it not as the final answer, but as a tool to actually get to the goal that we have.
Again, I totally agree. And also to add on top of it, I think getting to the interview is one game which needs a strategy. We need our tailored CVs. We need our CVs that can pass the ATS test. We need our presence. We need our um, portfolios. We need our LinkedIn strategy so that we can get that interview. Once we have that interview, how do we perform in that interview is a different exercise. We need a different strategy for that. Again, our portfolio, our brand helps a lot over there, but how do we answer interviewer questions? How do we even understand what the interviewer means when they ask questions like, tell us about yourself, what are your weaknesses, what are your, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? These are like, which spice in the kitchen would you relate yourself with? So these apparently harmless, funny questions are there, but they are there to evaluate your thinking pattern, your problem solving capability, your team adaptability, your communication skills, in addition to your technical skills. So you need a separate way to prepare for interview as well. And by the way, I'll just let you know, a shameless plug here, that at Lumen we also have an interview preparation accelerator, also a 2 weeks program, but that does not focus on brand construction and portfolio building. That focuses on what is going on in a hiring manager's mind and how you can make sure that you say the right things, which the hiring managers are actually looking for. So long answer short, we need both. We need the strategy for tailoring our CVs, and AI is now helping a lot in this case. And we need a separate strategy and separate preparation for those interviews as well. And I have been a hiring manager for several years. I've seen people make such mistakes which you would not imagine anyone making. And sometimes I just feel like how I can share all those mistakes with people so that they don't make those mistakes. And yeah, I think it's important to know from a hiring manager's point of view how you can succeed in those interviews. But Nadia, if AI can help us so much, it can help people evaluate their LinkedIn, it can help evaluate, create roadmaps for learning, then why would you say we still need a mentor, a human mentor or a human expert? Can't we just do everything with AI?
I mean, if that was the case, probably I would have done it before the accelerator, because I was already really into AI. But I think that having someone you can share your thinking with, your doubts, your question, is actually what gives you the clarity in the end. I think that it was great for me going through the accelerator, because it was a work that we did like it was me trying to convey to you what I didn't know I wanted in a way, and you actually pointing me into the right direction. And I think that there is also a work of empathy there that it cannot be replaced by AI, LLM. So it wouldn't actually go so in depth on the reason that were actually pushing me towards a specific path. and doing that kind of journey would have been possible just with a human. So there are certain things that AI can do, and some other that I guess luckily can be done just with another human being. And mentoring, I think that is a great way in a lot of different fields in life to actually get the direction you need if you feel lost on something, because it allows you to get the answer through the right question that were there, but that you just couldn't find.
So for anyone who feels stuck in the job market right now because of AI, because of everything else that's happening, what would be your recommendation? What one thing should they start with?
I mean, as per my experience, I mean, of course, the accelerator helped me a lot. So I will definitely recommend doing that because I think that having a roadmap, having a structure allows you first and foremost to look for the right job, because that's something else that I mean, it's not just a matter maybe of doing the right steps or actually being proactive, but if you do not know what's your final goal is, maybe all that effort that you're actually putting into a direction, if it's not the right direction, it can actually feel like you are still like lost in a way. I mean, that was the accelerator gave to me. He actually gave me clarity on what I wanted. He gave me the structure. He gave me all the baseline I needed. And now a year after, I'm still working on top of that. So I could not recommend that as a starting point, because it was what I needed at the time, and I still benefit from it.
I'm glad to hear that. I am now focusing more on the questions that are coming in. So So Faisal mentioned, let me see if this is a question or a comment, but let me read it out. In this current situation, to be honest, getting a lot of rejections, even though having 4 to 5 years of experience, is pretty hard to digest. And I totally agree with that. Do you suggest to get mentor and get guided where people are lacking maybe from skill set perspective or portfolio or about LinkedIn network?
I mean, I recommend mentoring for people on all the different stages in their career. I mean, I was a senior engineer when I decided to join the accelerator, but I think that a person that is like external can actually see things on our skills, on what is in our digital portfolio, LinkedIn, that is actually from an external perspective, and can actually guide us in see the things that we are not seeing because we are so into the job search. And I guess that the more I mean, you mentioned that that feeling that I mean, a lot of us had while looking for a job and getting all the rejection, because I mean, it's an emotional phase as well. So having someone else that can actually let you see things that you are not seeing in that specific moment, I think that is priceless, because it gives you a clarity that in a very emotional moment like that one might lose. I hope I answered the.
Oh, yes, you did. And I have so many examples where, so for example, I have my own mentors because they help me see my gaps. And interestingly, the best example that I can think of is there is one of my students is in herself a brand creator. So she is there to create brands for others, but when it came for the time for her to create her own brand, she needed a mentor to do that, because being a brand creator does not mean that she can see things on her own, because you are too much into that topic right now. And as you said, Nadia, that you need somebody who can look at it from a distance with experience and let you see your blind spots and help you go through it. So even brand creators get mentorship to create their own brand, and that's, I believe, not unusual. I am reading more comments. Hi, Daniela. It's great that you have a website, and I would love to see your upgraded website soon. Now I am looking at Charles. Charles has a question for you, Nadia. What exactly is tailoring CV and cover letter? In this day and age, everyone is doing the same thing. So, in your opinion, what exactly will set someone apart from the crowd? Something like the viral moment.
I think is finding that thing that actually makes what you're offering different, which is one of the things that I actually ended up doing during my accelerator, because I'm both a SEO expert and an engineer, a software engineer. That was actually that link that made my offering completely different from anyone else. And actually having that conversation with Humaira was what actually made it come up. So finding that unique selling proposition, if we can call it that, that makes you standing out from the crowd, it definitely helps. I mean, I always had those set of skills, but actually having someone that looks at all the experience that you have, all the skills that you collected, and then try to reframe them in a way that is actually clear, that you can offer something that anyone else cannot, is super it's super helpful. But it's not just that. I mean, there are probably some situations in which the experience is very little as well, and that's not possible, but it's all a matter of framing what you have done and what you have to offer, and that's part of the work that is done throughout the accelerator. Try to showcase all your capability, also the personal projects, so everything that you can offer in a way that actually stand out to someone that is looking at your digitals.
Hmm. And I'll just add that also removing everything that doesn't make sense for your offering. Because I remember you had a lot of websites that you had built that were not adding or helping you in it to be. They were more from your past experience, but not helpful for your future self. So removing removing those topics or those projects out of the portfolio and making that hard cut was also important.
Yeah, emotionally hard because I mean you think I mean I know how to do those things. I've done those projects, but they're not serving your goal. So yeah, probably that is even harder, removing the things that are not
Yeah,
serving your goal.
yeah. Uh, okay, let's move to the next question. Saud also has another comment. Personally, I have been giving recent interviews. If you add a badge on seeking opportunity, you look needy and incompetent. Incompetent. What are your thoughts on this one?
On the LinkedIn, yeah, no, I agree on the fact that, I mean, that's of course my my personal opinion, and probably Humera, you have more feedback on that based on the students. But I agree on the fact that it looks needy. I think that is the the right way to frame it. I wouldn't have it. I had it in the past. I mean, I did the same, but I'm realizing now that because it's all about the personal brand, you have to look also in a certain way that doesn't look well on LinkedIn. And I don't even think that actually raise your your possibility while applying for a job. But Umaira, you probably have way more feedback from students on that.
No, I have done a lot of research on this. It's a very controversial topic, but my research tells me, which is not only from LinkedIn's own research findings, but also from different organizations who did independent study on the badge. And then I spoke to several hiring managers as well. And all of them come to the same conclusion, what you said, it looks needy. So nobody is going out and saying, oh, this person is open to work, so let me prioritize him or her. Nobody is doing that. People are all looking for the best person who can get the job done for me or for us, for the company. So having that badge is not enhancing your chances. On the other hand side, it is giving the signal that you don't have anything at your backing, you don't have anything to negotiate against because you are open to work, so you'll get anything that comes your way. So the offers that people get in this case are lower ballpark figures, and often they are just not considered. And I've seen this happening firsthand, that two people, one had an open for work badge, the other one was employed. The final decision tilted in the favor of the one who was already employed because that showed less desperation. So I haven't seen this work for anyone's benefit. Another question, in your opinion, what is the best way to approach recruiters on LinkedIn? This is a question from Hamza. And also, if a recruiter approaches us on LinkedIn and wants to have a small chat, what tips do you have or what mistakes to avoid?
I don't know if I will recommend reaching out directly to recruiters, but again, maybe Umera, you know better in that sense. Rather than doing that, I will go through the actual path of applying for a job role that actually fit my my set of skills. When recruiters are reaching out, which in the tech world actually happen quite often. I'm thinking if I have any specific suggestion there, but I guess that it's again not try to sounds probably too desperate for the job, but that's just I guess a matter of I don't know. It's just psychology probably, because if it feels like again some sort of some sense it will convey some sort of desperation, but I don't know if I have any specific set of suggestion on how to get back to them to actually increase the chances of getting the job. Maybe Homera, from your experience, there is something that can increase the chances.
I would say that cold calling or cold messaging, cold DMing is risky. It doesn't work. The most important thing is that your long-term brand building that helps the most, because recruiter, hiring manager, they come to our LinkedIn and they look at your LinkedIn and they see what kind of projects you have already there, what kind of experience you already have there, what kind of posts are you doing, what kind of comments are you making, are you bringing value? And there are, as I said earlier, there are so many things which hiring managers are checking. It all boils down to one thing: if I hire this person, will it add to my workload or will it make my life easier? Will it bring me more business or will this person become a liability? So that's the back end question which recruiters and hiring managers are asking themselves. What is it in the company? What is it there in this person for me? What does this person bring to the table? So your one message that, hey, I'm looking for this job, it doesn't convey all of this. Rather, your comments, your posts, your online presence, your portfolio, that communicates all of this. and knowing what these hiring managers and recruiters are looking for, then you can avoid those mistakes. What I recommend my students is to connect with the right people, because having the right network is very important. But then don't be creepy over there. Don't send creepy cold messages, which has become, by the way, very common these days. Rather, show your value, show your presence through your content and your presence. Awesome. So now we are slowly coming to an end. Nadia, I am just quickly looking at the Q&A. There, I think we have covered all of them. I'm also looking at the chat. I believe we have covered all of them here as well. So I have a couple more questions, which are also coming from from people who ask me, and I would like to know your thoughts over there. What would you say to someone who says, I don't have enough projects in my portfolio, I have nothing to show? How should they proceed?
They should start building
They should
projects.
start building.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, it will have the double benefit of having something to showcase on the portfolio, but it will also prepare you for the actual job. So, I mean, the theory gets you till a certain point, but actually working on something, it provides you with a set of skills that just something practicals can give you. So I will say, based on the kind of role you are planning to apply to, or the kind of business you are planning to set up, define a certain number of projects, work on those, and actually add them to your portfolio. That will be my recommendation.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That sounds very good. So I think I can shoot you with one more question. Um, if somebody is sitting at the fence right now on whether they should take up a mentor, take up this job search accelerator or not, what would you advise them?
I mean, as I mentioned, I think that is something valuable regardless of the seniority. Because again, I was a senior engineer, and still it turned out to be super valuable for me. But I guess that especially if you are starting out and need some direction from someone that actually have experience in the field, can give you a great perspective on the mistakes to avoid, the direction to take, and the action points to start implementing. Honestly, I do not see any downside in going towards that route, because as you said, in 2 weeks, you actually get to know exactly what you want and how to get there. I mean, that's the final goal. It will probably takes you way longer if you get to the point on actually understanding what exactly are you looking to achieve and how to do it. So, I mean, highly recommend it, absolutely, to any stage of someone career.
I agree. And I think in this current day market, timing is the key. We need to act with urgency. I always give the example of this flights taking off. Whenever I am at an airport, I am amazed by how everything is very well planned, from the flight schedule, from where the gate is, and then you board the plane, and then it starts rolling on the taxiway. It rolls, 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 and then it comes on the runway. And at that instant, it just goes full throttle. with full speed, and because you don't have infinite runway, and it rolls for a few seconds and then it takes off. Because if you miss that taking off and going full throttle, then you'll always remain standing at the terminal. And that's definitely not we would like to have with our careers. So uh, for uh, for the participants of this webinar, thank you very much for joining. I have a special 10% discount for everyone who's here. If you register by 4th of June, the next session is starting next Monday on the 8th of June. So if you apply by Thursday, then you'll get the 10% discount. And since I am doing all the sessions one-on-one personally with everyone, so I have very limited seats. It's a maximum of 10 seats that I am taking for the June's cohort. So if you think that this is your time, just take it. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Nadia, for being here. Thank you very much, everyone, for your presence. If you have any other questions, if you would like to talk to me, just let me know. Drop me a note, drop me an email, drop me a message on LinkedIn, and we will take it forward from there. And I wish you all the best in your career and hope to see you in the accelerator. Thank you very much and bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.